Hi, welcome to this video series on using IBM Spectrum Protect for ERP and IBM Spectrum Copy Data Management together to protect and more rapidly restore and recover SAP Hana. By using these two together, you're able to rapidly restore the snapshot from Copy Data Management and then on top of that apply the redo logs that the Spectrum Protect for ERP has backed up. And so this gives you a more rapid way to restore your SAP HANA database and more restore points to choose from. I'm going to be going through these 5 videos, and these 5 videos generally follow the tech doc, which is listed here at the bottom. This video is going to look at how to set up IBM Spectrum Protect for ERP. Inside of SAP HANA Studios, we can take a look at the database and understand the parts that make up the SAP HANA database. So if we click on that system and then go in and take a look at the different volumes that are out there, here you'll see that we have both a data and a log volume, and Copy Data Management is going to take a snapshot of the data volumes. It is not going to include any of the log volumes in its snapshot. And this is going to become important when we go to do the restore, because Spectrum Protect for ERP is able to not only back up the data volumes, but also the log volumes. In fact, it can back up all of the log volumes except those volumes that are currently being written to. And so Copy Data Management is going to take a snapshot of the data volumes, and then it's going to rapidly restore to the SAP HANA system that data volume. We're then going to utilize Spectrum Protect for ERP to bring back any of the redo logs that it backed up. Okay, let's take a look at how to set up Spectrum Protect for ERP to protect both these data and redo logs. So we're assuming that the Spectrum Protect Plus server is already installed. You've already created a Spectrum Protect node for this ERP system, and you've already downloaded the Spectrum Protect for ERP code. Also, we've already installed the Spectrum Protect for ERP code on this machine, so this demo is not going to walk through the installer or accepting the license terms. As a root user on the HANA system, we're going to use the setup script that was provided by Spectrum Protect for ERP. It's called setup.sh. And we're going to go ahead and run that. Now we will utilize the default system ID. You do want to check that the instant ID is correct. And then you're going to enter the database username with the system privileges and the password for that database user. So some pre-install checks are going to be completed, and you're going to go ahead and press enter to start the configuration. Now you're going to have to create a profile for Spectrum Protect, so go ahead and enter yes. And the things it's going to ask about are going to be the number of full backups to retain, and this is basically your max versions settings. And so once you've reached this max versions, we'll start deleting the oldest copy out there. And so if we enter 5, once you've backed up the 6th full version, we will delete off the original one. And next, you need to let us know if you're using automatic password handling. This would be your password access generate. We are not using it, so we'll enter no. You'll want to enter the Spectrum Protect server name as it is in the dsm.sys file. You'll need to enter the Spectrum Protect node name that you created for this ERP instance, and we're assuming that you already registered that and created a password for it inside of the Spectrum Protect server. Now you're going to need to specify the number of sessions that you want the Spectrum Protect server and ERP to utilize. Now this is not the number of sessions that HANA will utilize. This is only for the Spectrum Protect setting. And it is basically the number that are allowed when you connect in to the Spectrum Protect server. We're going to use 2 because we're going to be creating redo copies, and each redo copy uses a dedicated session. Next, you're going to specify the Spectrum Protect management class for this database backup. And now you'll enter one or more management classes for the redo log. And so if you have more than one redo log and you enter more than one management class, basically we'll store each redo log in a different management class. And if one of those for some reason gets damaged, Spectrum Protect will automatically use the other version while it's doing the restore. Now we're going out and we're actually connecting to the Spectrum Protect server, and it's going to prompt you for the password for that node that you just entered. And that password was set up inside of the Spectrum Protect server when you created the Spectrum Protect client node. Okay, so we have configured the HANA database, and it will be adjusted to use the Spectrum Protect for ERP to do its backups of both the redo logs and catalogs. Here you'll see that the parallel data backup backint channels has been set to 2. So once the database is larger than 125 gigabytes, SAP HANA will split large objects into larger chunks, and those will be backed up in parallel using these multiple sessions. Next, we're being prompted, do we want to create a dedicated configuration profile for the tenant databases? In our case, we're going to go ahead and use the same setup for the system databases as for the tenants. So with that, we are done. And the HANA databases are now configured to back up to Spectrum Protect. So in summary, this video showed you how to set up Spectrum Protect for ERP so that you can do backups of your HANA database and redo logs to the Spectrum Protect server. Please check out the other videos in this series and the Tech Doc. Thanks a lot.